really extremely difficult to share in a few minutes 3 years and a half experience in Ashraf. So this is why I faced a number of questions that I think it's necessary to clarify to you today. And by clarifying them to you, I'm sending also a message to the people in New York. Hopefully they will learn from the experiences we so far had in Ashraf and Camp Liberty. I would like to just tell you the situation in Camp Liberty in order to reflect on whether it's actually practical and feasible that people will remain in this place. And what are other options if there are any? As you could see, this is circled in red. This is the Camp Liberty. This is the main entrance to Camp Liberty, where you have 2 BMPs, Russian tanks, stationed here. And also outside the wall, the red is the wall, the T-wall. Outside, there are tanks, again, Russian tanks, T-72s, stationed here. This is Halliburton KBR location that was supposed to be an extension of Camp Liberty, but in the end the Iraqis refrained from handing it over to Camp Liberty. So, and this one is called the White House. The White House is the location where the UNHCR undertakes interviews with the Ashrafis. Further down here is the base of the Rapid Intervention Forces, just right here. So when we pass through the White House, we leave on our left the base of the Rapid Intervention Forces. And behind it, there is the Academy for the police forces. And the whole area is high security zone. Just to explain that there is no way for even the United Nations to take a needle with it into Camp Liberty without being detected. But the whole compound, as you see it, is extremely vulnerable to attacks, particularly, as you all know, the police forces and the army, the Iraqi army, are not homogeneous. There are complex situations within the police force and within the army. And having this setup, the Ashrafis are planned, or the Prime Minister's office, I would say, has planned, and they use the word, by all means, these people have to be taken out of the country. Now, what is the security situation, if there is no way, there is no exit for these people? And yet, this compound is extremely vulnerable to attacks. Attacks from all quarters. And it's very easy to launch from here a mortar. And when a mortar explodes inside the camp, you could see the location where it's so tied together. When the mortar explodes, people have no shelter. I should remind that in UNAMI compound, there is a number of what we call safe haven. So the minute anything happens, people jump into the safe havens for for cover. They take cover immediately. In this kind of setting, there is no way to take cover. The buildings or the containers, they're soft-skinned, so they're not a safe haven. There is nowhere else where to take safe haven. So any attack will cause serious damage. But are we going to say this situation is going to accommodate these people as a temporary location? In French we say c'est le temporaire qui dure, et ça va durer. It will last, this situation will last, because I started before even the relocation to survey how many people we could take out of Iraq. I did survey face-to-face with those decision makers in Baghdad, the embassies. Each embassy in Baghdad, I asked them, with the list in my hands, how many people can you take? And I could give you figures. The United States of America are not prepared to take more than 6 people. 2 of them have already left. So there are 4 left that could be taken, provided they sign at the airport that when they arrive to America they will be arrested. That was the condition last time when we took them to the airport. They handed these documents to them to sign, so they would be arrested on their arrival. And the young man refused to sign, so they returned back to اشرف. Now, there is a difference between the population that is actually hold the nationality of a third country and what we call in the United Nations affiliated people to a third country. Affiliated, it means at a certain time in history they have a right to residency or a expired refugee status and so on and so forth. We have about 900 people of this sort. And I faced the diplomats in Baghdad telling them, are these people eligible to be repatriated or to be resettled? Not a single embassy is willing to take a single person among what we call affiliated. So, with some exaggeration, I would say, if I put figures together, there will be no resettlement in third countries more than few nationals. And those few nationals, most of them have already left. So now we are faced with a situation that everybody among the embassies in Baghdad think that they advance some kind of wishful thinking, that there will be a solution, but no one is prepared to contribute effectively to such a solution. When I asked the Swedes, how many can you take to Sweden? None. The Dutch, how many? None. The Germans, we know that we have nearly 400 affiliated to Germany. And even Mr. Kobler admitted they speak German better than he does. But Germany, the embassy, the ambassador himself told me, Germany is not ready to take any except consider 12 cases. 12 cases. Not to be taken to Germany, to be considered. And I said, to be considered for what? They're nationals. They said, no, there are some difficulties with the immigration laws, and we have to actually, whatever decision will be taken will be done through the judicial process. France is not ready to take a single Ashrafi. That is the French embassy. I called them, sat with them, discussed this at length. They're not prepared to accommodate a single case. Who else? Britain. They claim that we don't have nationals. There are 62 associated or affiliated. Britain is not ready to take any. Now, what is the solution then? The Iraqis are saying we will get them out by all means. And you see the consequences. We have to take them seriously. They will use all means. Meaning what? There will be more killing. And why is that? The Iraqi government will try to force the hands of the international community to accommodate them. The international community is saying, no, we will not. The Iraqis will hit again. They will kill again to force the hands of the international community to do something. And nobody is prepared to do anything. And the country that has the first responsibility vis-à-vis the Ashrafis is the country that granted them the protected person status under the Fourth Geneva Convention, which is the United States. Is the United States prepared to give the example and accommodate these people? No, they are not. So what is the solution? Are we going to keep them in Camp Liberty to be exposed to a real danger? What are the other solutions in Iraq? Solution is Camp Ashraf. In Camp Ashraf, there are safe havens in Camp Ashraf. There are less density of the population in Camp Ashraf. 36 kilometers square is not to be compared with half a kilometer square. So therefore, a return to Ashraf, while a solution is being sought, while we are searching for a solution, for the safety and security of the people, give them a safe haven. Camp Liberty has been proven now. It's not safe haven. It's a killing zone. The safe haven is go back to Ashraf. There are difficulties with this. Al-Maliki will never tolerate this. But he also said, we will close the camp last year in December, but under international pressure, he changed his mind. He extended his... So the pressure actually does give results. And if we put more pressure, the possibility of going back to Ashraf as safe haven, I say, it's a necessity. It's to save life. Camp Liberty is not a safe haven. It exposes the residents to serious danger. Here is the proof. And therefore, we need to send this message to the international community, to the United Nations, and to the United States. That while the international community is looking for a lasting solution, these people should be taken back to safe haven. I thank you very much.